What's up, guys? It's the A God and a Son. This is going to be the first ever episode of the Robbery Boys podcast featuring Colbdawg20, Twitch streamer and personal friend of mine. He is 12 followers away from affiliate, so do check out his Twitch. The link will be in the description after watching this video. We get into Colby's personal experience with video games at an early age. We'll let him into playing a little bit more competitively. And then finally, his thoughts on the new CDL franchise Call of Duty League, which lacks 100 Thieves, his favorite team. This will be on all major outlets with YouTube premiering on Twitch, also on Spotify and iTunes for audio only. So check this out, the first ever episode of the Robbery Boys podcast featuring Colbdawg20. You were playing video games and you thought to yourself, wow, this is something that I actually enjoy and would like to do for a long time. What was the first game that you picked up that you were like, okay, this is it?
So I probably would have to say I started playing on the Xbox 360. My brother had a Xbox, and he had Halo 3, I do believe, or it might have been Halo 2. And then I started playing that, watching him play. And then I finally got my hands on the sticks. And, one Christmas, my brother ended up getting Call of Duty. And then that's when I started falling in love with playing Call of Duty, more or less. And then sort of started to keep going and going, getting my own PlayStation, and then playing my way up into the PS4, and now to where I am playing Black Ops 4, getting the new Modern Warfare game that should be coming out. Hopefully it's going to be good.
I'm definitely excited for Modern Warfare. Less excited than I was a week ago, but still excited. And before we go too far into the future, for some weird reason in my brain, I just have like this memory where I was at your house and I remember that your brother did have his, it would have been original Xbox or 360. I don't remember which one he was using to play Halo 2, because for some reason I feel like you could play old Halo 2 discs on the 360. Could you do that?
Yeah, but we did have an original Xbox.
Yeah, I know that, because you guys
started playing Halo.
You guys were grinding, like you were doing like 1v1s on Halo 2 in preparation for Halo 3, because it was coming out like 2 or 3 days later, and you guys were just like ripping it for an hour. And I was just sitting there, I was watching, I was like, man, Colby's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, my brother used to kick my ass like all the friggin' time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The older brother kicking the younger brother's ass, like trying to get better. Yeah, trying to beat him. The first never seemed to work.
The best part is whenever you would get like a couple kills in a row, because you guys were playing with radar off, so he was just like, no, you're screen peeking. You'll be like, no, I'm not, bro, I'm just killing you. He's like, no, you're 100% screen peeking. There's no way you're killing me.
All right, I got a confession.
Yeah,
I did screen peek because I did need to get those kills.
Oh yeah, you got to get those kills.
He was kicking my ass. Like I was young. I don't even know how old I was at the time. Probably 16. Yeah, we were probably 11.
12.
You were 10.
10, 11, 11, 12, or 10, 11, around that. Yeah, around that.
We were in that early teenage years.
Yeah, for sure.
He had the 5 years difference on me, so he's been playing video games for a while. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna speak from experience here, but I'm sure you feel the same way, because we both, like, the reason that we're friends for the most part is that we played baseball with each other growing up. Like, that's just the way that you meet friends at an early age. You know, you go to school with them, and then after school you play baseball with them. But
yeah, so you spend a lot of time together.
And I think that the reason that like our group of friends is so drawn to video games is the fact that when we played baseball, the objective was to like put yourself in a position to beat the other team. And when I saw people playing video games, like player versus player, when I saw Halo 2 and I saw like a couple of my friends get Halo 3 when it first came out, and I was just like, you're telling me I can queue up in a game at any time, get the same gun as somebody else, and like man fight them to see who's the better player? And I was like, okay, I want to do this.
Yeah. I don't know if you coming over to see was the early indication of you playing video games as competitively as you do?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I go, my first video games I would have played like hardcore. I don't even know, bro. It would have been Halo Reach. I didn't like.
Yeah.
I followed video games, like I watched and I kept up with like the CODs. I played COD like public match casually and stuff like that, and I know you did too.
We
But
never knew what competitive
no,
was.
100%. We were definitely the age group that was like, whether or not we were pioneers to the fact that esports are becoming a thing, like we didn't directly create the content, but we were like our age group and our demographic of like competitive
Yeah.
competitive like early teenagers and kids that want an outlet to express how competitive they are online,
Yeah.
and that we needed to happen for esports to happen. So we were just like a product of the system pretty much, which
Yeah.
which
Um,
yeah, I mean, it's going to get a lot larger obviously, but it's crazy to think like, man, when I first started watching like the first Halo 3 tourneys, the boys were making like 10K. If you got 10K, you were raking it in. It was
I
crazy.
remember even watching old Halo 2 like on TSN. Like they used
Oh
to
man,
put
that was sick
esports on
actually.
TSN. Like
Yeah, for sure, that was
I
crazy.
used to watch that all the time. I was like, how does someone get into this? Like, how does someone get into this competitive like scene? Like,
Yeah,
it's
especially
so
when like it would have hit us like a ton of bricks. Like we just see like we went from playing public match Halo to straight up seeing like top 10 clips on Sports Center, and because we're from Eastern Canada, there's nothing going on even close to what you
yeah,
would see in like New York, where actual tourneys are being ran. So it's just like,
yeah.
what is this? I've never seen anything like this before. Think
As a
about it.
person
You
who
have
was
you have those same thoughts when you're watching like NBA basketball. You're like, yeah, me and my friends could go pick up a basketball and pass it around and shoot some threes, but we're not 7 feet tall. We can't jump 10 feet in the air and
yeah.
do windmill dunks. But it's pretty cool
But
that
the
other people can.
but the thing is, like, especially with esports too, like if you put in the time, you can get that good. But where sports, like
Yeah,
sometimes there's more genetics than anything.
like
Like,
yeah, for some sports and background stuff like that. But I mean, obviously in professional sports, whoever's a professional athlete is putting in the work to get there.
work,
They just
yeah,
you can just have a bit of
yeah,
a head start. Where
yeah.
the reason
You can
why
have
competitive like League of Legends stuff like that is so crazily popular is you can literally download the game for free and you are one step closer to becoming a professional League of Legends
mhm,
player. Obviously, it
yeah,
doesn't work like that because those guys play like 15 hours of League or Dota
yeah,
or COD or whatever it is a day easily. But at the
just
same
to
time, it's because they want to.
yeah, and that's what they enjoy to do, right? Like
Yeah,
if I had the opportunity to play professional baseball in my life, like
definitely.
like why wouldn't you go put in more hours just to get better and like you love what you do, right? So
Yeah,
it's the same way with esports. I find like these guys love what they're doing and they want to keep playing and stuff like that. So like
yeah,
this is
for sure.
especially when the difference between like recreational sports and like professional sports, like esports, like you have such a young age gap, right? Like you see people in their mid 20s like retiring,
Oh yeah,
like
for sure. That is 100% true.
because it's so hard, especially for people like our age right now. We're like, oh, we want to play competitive, but people our age are starting to get out of this. Like
Yeah,
it's so
I
hard.
do want to talk about that later. Like, at what age in esports is like, am I old yet? You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Because I mean, I'm starting to think about that, but I want to go back a little bit when
mhm,
we were talking about playing like Halo 2, 3, or like MW2,
mhm.
COD, like Black Ops 1, COD 5,
Yeah.
pubs. We were thinking like, okay, let's get a 6 man team or a 5 man team and see
Mhm.
if we can run 15 straight wins in S&D or something like that. And
Yeah.
and if we did that, we were like, okay, boys, we're hot shit. But
Yeah.
little did we know that there's like 5,000
People
plus people in Eastern North America right now playing COD at the high
just
levels, and we're sitting there grinding pubs thinking we're the hot shit because we just had
yeah.
literally no idea that people were taking that mindset of, okay, let's beat the people in front of us to the point where
Yeah.
they're literally beating everybody else on
Mhm.
Earth. And it's just, I
Yeah.
didn't even think that was
Yeah.
like possible that people were going to do that.
No. No.
Now,
Because and nowadays
oh,
it's especially with like games like Fortnite and stuff like that now, like where you can make so much money, but
oh
but that's a little
that's
too early for that. But
oh man,
the
we missed
thing is
that.
like
Just missed it though.
yeah, yeah, just time to get the keyboard and mouse going, like
Nah.
but this besides the fact of like playing like where I really fell in love with playing like video games, like playing Modern Warfare, like I had no idea what this game was, like, and I played until like when I was probably like, God, when did that come out?
We were playing MW2 in either grade 7 or 8. It was definitely middle school.
Yeah, so I was
Might have
probably
been grade 8.
playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
probably
probably
grade 8,
playing grade
honestly.
six. I was playing Modern Warfare, and no
Yeah,
one was playing.
around
No
that.
one knew what it was, and my brother got it,
Hmm.
didn't play it. I was like, "Can I try?" And then I ended up just playing till like 4 a.m. on like Christmas break
Yeah.
every night. I'm like, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have any like. No one had an Xbox, like, because my brother had it. He was playing his. Like, I never knew very many people playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, for
So I
sure,
was
for
playing
sure.
by myself, staying the same,
Yeah, oh,
staying the
yeah.
same scope. Like, wasn't getting any better,
Yeah,
but like
pre-aim in
wasn't.
every corner.
Yeah,
Just like
not even
sight
sprinting.
up, grenade in
Yeah,
hand, cooked up, ready to go. See one guy, you go like 1 in 5. You're like, man, not bad, not
not a bad.
bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get like 3 kills, die 10 times,
Yeah,
but
it's
like no,
crazy,
I
man.
got those 3 kills.
The first time you play a game competitively, when you find success, you're like, ho ho ho, look at this, boys. Like I
Look what I
remember
got.
when I first started even playing Dota, like I already had the experience of like playing a little bit of Halo and playing Smash with the boys and like beating people in video games. But when I got my
Yeah,
first couple kills in Dota, I was like, you're telling me I just killed that guy and now he's dead. Yep, it was wicked.
yeah.
Oh man,
You did it.
it's just
Now
like
can
you
you do it
practice
again?
something and then you actually see it happen. You're like, oh shit, let's go. But
Yeah, it's like it's such a rewarding
yeah,
feeling, and
um,
then especially with the ranking system and
mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
It gets you easily addicted to the game and what the that game's trying to do and get you to like keep going, prestige, lose all the weapons, and do it
yeah,
all over
it was just
again.
a straight up grind. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I know
and
that
that's
like I look back on MW2 with rose colored glasses, but like I could put my nose down to that game and straight up grind and not even care, dude.
yeah.
Just put my face
I
down all day, grind after school every single day, just grind MW2.
yeah, I remember I spent so many hours at Paul's basement with Nick, like
Yeah.
so many 2 liters of Pepsis. Like
Oh
we'd go
yeah.
there on a Friday night and just like play all night until Sunday and then go to school. And then the summer times were even worse because we'd spend like 3 to 5 days at Paul's just playing every night, drinking a 2 liter Pepsi.
A couple 2Ls, couple 710s go down the
two
drain
liters
there.
each.
Oh,
Couple 2 liters
easy,
each.
easy. Oh man, yeah. Me and Doyle used to have those same experiences. Me, Doyle, and the Catman ripping some gears. Ooh, look out! No,
I That's one game I've never really
man. I
played.
think you would have liked Gears if you would have gave it a try, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just something about Gears where it was so you just felt so good when you killed someone because their head would literally blow off their shoulders. So you're just like, no, you just got completely shit on. But
But
yeah,
in my gaming career, like I've tried playing these MMOs like League of Legends and Dota,
yeah. I don't
and
know.
nothing just it doesn't seem the same as I'm playing a game like Call of Duty or Halo. I love the first person perspective on a way.
Yeah, it's just
Like
like that individual, like you're as good as you are. Like in Dota,
yeah,
the more I play Dota, the more I'm thinking like, man, my team's bad. I want to play something else.
yeah.
Every single game, I'm blaming it on my team because they are idiots. No, but anyway, before we get into like the current state of esports and what's going to happen with Call of Duty, which is I'd say at this point in your life by far the biggest like competitive esport that you follow
Yeah.
for sure.
I fell in love with Call of Duty this year more than I ever have, like with a game, and followed the CWL like
Yeah.
religiously this year.
And
Like
but that also has a lot to do with the fact that you have like a history of playing competitive
video games.
sports.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
yeah,
because you know how to follow a competitive
yeah.
sporting scene, like you have experience playing team sports. If you were
Hmm.
to come, the thing that I find kind of surprising is how the people who are professional gamers, they have like a lot of people have experience with like competitive sports, like
Yeah.
traditional sports like football or basketball. It's just like it kind of seems like something you gotta learn how to do. It's not just playing video games. You have to understand that the team concept is really important. Even at low levels, I find it's fairly important.
I find especially like with sports and esports, like your adrenaline's going with sports, and you feel that competitive drive, like when you're playing, like
Yeah.
you're dribbling up the court, like I'm gonna try to take this guy one on one.
Mm-hmm.
But and with esports, or with like video games, I find it sometimes hard to put your because you're gonna respawn,
Yeah.
eh,
Yeah,
like.
it is.
But like when you start to like put yourself in that situation of if I don't like I've got this 1v1 and it's gonna be worth something to me for a competitive person, like
Mm-hmm.
1v1s, like for a tournament, like for some money, like
Oh yeah, especially if you have a
that's
team
when
that's
your
relying on you.
competitive drive, yeah,
Yeah.
that's where you get that competitive drive. I just right as right now, like with me and like esports, like I am competitive, but like not to that point of where I was competitive in traditional sports like baseball and
Well, when you
basketball.
think about it, you've played
Yeah,
baseball and basketball, well, like baseball
all
especially
my
for
life.
like 20 years. So it's
Yeah,
pretty hard to
all
hold
my
God for
life.
20 years. But at the same
Yeah,
time,
well,
imagine if you spent every hour uh, that you like reverse it. Every hour you played traditional sports, you put into video games and vice
yeah,
versa. You
yeah.
probably have, I don't know, like it's hard. It's just so hard for us to know.
It's
It's so
yeah,
hard because we were the
it's
like we're talking about playing public matches. These people,
mhm.
like kids growing up who
Now,
are what, like 12, 13 now, and they're seeing like Fortnite. They're like the beginning of their video game careers. The Fortnite
yeah,
World Cup has already happened, so everything
yeah,
that they're going to experience, it will just be so mind-blowing to somebody who was watching 150 people sit in a garage watching like a Halo 2 doubles tournament go on and think
yeah,
like this is the pinnacle of competitive gaming. Like there's
yeah,
no way it can get better than this. I want to be in
yeah.
that garage. Um,
It's more modernized now. That's the thing. Like people are becoming more accepting of the fact that like this is a job opportunity. Like if you wanted to pursue it as like a future, it's more the
yeah,
merrier, right? Like
yeah.
grows the scene, grows the like public, like people start becoming aware of it, and especially when we were younger,
Hmm.
no one heard of like even playing professional Halo or
Oh
being
God.
professional Call of Duty. Like that wasn't even in the realm of a possibility for us. But now for kids that are growing up now, it's just like they could a professional esport, like doing esports, like streamer, like
Oh
all that
man,
stuff. Like
manager,
it's
agents, it's like the whole everything, every job that you can think
mhm.
of in traditional sports to some extent is relevant in esports. I mean,
Yeah,
um what's I'm thinking of, like, I saw, remember there's one viral video that went around. It was just like a bunch of like TV personalities like taking a first look at esports and just like, what is this joke of a thing? And it was like Colin
yeah,
Cowherd is just like, there's no chance that some, like, he had a picture of Faker up from League of Legends, like there's no chance this guy's gonna be as popular as like LeBron
uh,
or how do I, baseball is kind of hard to find an example because they don't
yeah,
market their stars, but
hmm
or like Crosby or maybe like McDavid or somebody like that or
yeah,
Ronaldo. But it's just like they are, dude. They're just not in your immediate life. And then
yeah,
once the older generation realize like, oh shit, there's actually a ton of kids and teenagers and young adults who follow this religiously. Maybe we should put a little bit of money in it and to find out where it goes. And
yeah,
there's literally like, without the backing of major companies, obviously esports can't advance. But that's the same for every startup business.
yeah. And that's where you see today, like now with Call of Duty, they're taking that jump and they're getting a big backing from Activision and trying to go into this franchising league.
Oh yeah.
And this is
Mm-hmm.
where it's gonna it's a little bit hard to see when they're trying to compare it to like traditional sports like football and like
Yeah.
basketball and baseball.
There's some parts
Like
of franchising for COD that I do like and that I don't like, and we can get into that in a couple minutes. But before that, I'd like to make the example that you're a fan of 100 Thieves, and
yes.
you were last year for the Call of Duty season, Black Ops 4.
Mhm.
100 Thieves is a really interesting case because they are almost like the poster boy of, okay, esports is now a thing.
Mhm.
Former like grassroots pioneer,
Mhm.
like a professional player in Nadeshot, makes his own team,
Mhm.
convinces huge businessman who only follows analytics, as is like massively famous for only following analytics in his job, and Daryl Morey, the GM of the Rockets. He gets him on
Yeah.
his podcast to talk about like how, like, you're crazy if you're a businessman, you're not putting money into esports. Realizes that, has Dan Gilbert of the Cavs give him a ton of money to buy a League of Legends slot. Now Nadeshot, the former Call of Duty player, is like, he's upset that 100 Thieves isn't going to be in COD, but he's also like,
Yeah.
we got teams in League of Legends, and we have so much more
Hmm.
money now that we didn't put into COD to put into other things. So he's just like,
Yeah.
we're in a fine spot. We're just not where we thought we were going to be. But 100
Yeah.
Thieves is like the poster child of new company invests in a retired professional player who had some success, but not groundbreaking success where he can retire
Hmm.
and just and frig off and do whatever he wants. But
Hmm.
he had a huge following personally and invested that into an esports team that
Hmm.
could easily be the most followed team in North America for sure, if
Yeah.
not the world soon.
Uh, yeah, very shortly. Because like you think of like the Team Liquid's like been around all majors like esports like
Mm-hmm.
CS:GO.
Yeah.
We're in the Call of Duty League at one point. And then there's still League of Legends, I do believe. Are they in League of Legends? I can't.
They were last season. I think this season they might not be, but I can't see them staying out of it for a long. Team
Yeah,
Liquid's in a really weird spot right now, but anyway,
yeah. But
yeah, they're
like
in a weird
teams
spot.
like that, like they those are like the big ones. And then for a team like that's less than 2 years old, it's like making such a big impact of like signing all these players, and it's
Oh
just
yeah,
the way they go about doing
for sure.
things.
Like 100 Thieves is like it's like it's like a child almost. It's literally like a child when you think it's
Yeah,
Nadeshot's esports baby. It's like, oh
yeah,
shit, now this is an actual thing that I can raise my child up in. This esports culture is a real thing that I can develop my child and like bring it up from scratch. And now he has a ton
yeah.
of money, a huge following. Um,
But you could say that this, yeah, that's like the same with Optic, right? Like,
Yeah, but Optic did it to the point where they realized the difference between me playing on a baseball team in a club league with my friends and me playing Call of Duty online is that all of the interactions I'll have with people for the most part, like 99% are going to be on the internet, where
yeah,
99% of the interactions you have on a baseball team besides, if you disclude what else you do as friends, it's just like, texting about what's going on, like your team or
yeah,
whatever, and then practicing playing games. So 99% of traditional sports is face to face, where on vice versa, it's all online. So what they
yeah,
said is, okay, well, instead of being you're only going to watch highlights of me play, let's let you watch highlights of me live. So you know what I mean?
yeah. Bring you into the day in the life of.
Yeah,
But
and then when Nadeshot realized like this has to be a thing that we do or we're not going to succeed, because Optic was so like lifted up and made popular based on personalities. Like, okay, I already have the personality. Now I need the
Mhm.
money and the competitive
Yeah,
team, and he did it, and it's actually kind of
and,
mind blowing.
and honestly, that's probably I once I started getting into the CWL this year, I started to root for Optic because of like all the publicity and
Yeah, it's hard not
everybody
to root
knows
for. Yeah, it's hard not to root for the
But when
Green
I did
Wall.
some deep diving into past Optic, like the Scuff House, the 6050, um, I started watching like Nadeshot, and I ended up watching more and more Nadeshot, and then that's how I sort of brought my favoritism to 100 Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
started to become more of a fan of Nadeshot,
yeah.
and then the fact that there's a team in the Call of Duty League that I'm just starting to get into, brand new organization in the Call of Duty League. Good time to just jump on ship with a new team, see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. Don't blame me for that at all.
Because
Yeah, like next thing I want to ask you is, um, how I know this is like a weird thing to say, but how to consume like professional sports culture. Like how to like evaluate if you watch the Red Sox, for example, play the Blue Jays last year. I'm not going to talk about this year because it wasn't the Red Sox brightest spot, but the Red Sox
when
would
is
have
it
kicked
the
the
Blue
shit out of the
Jays?
Blue Jays, and you'd be able to sit there and say like, okay, this is why it happened. You know,
Yeah.
the Red Sox, they just have better players in the team and they're in shape to do this and blah blah blah. But next year when the
Mhm.
contracts flip over, they'll have a different squad and they'll have to trade pieces. So you can use that knowledge to look at
Yeah.
100 Thieves Call of Duty and be like, okay, they're really good now, but what happens when they don't get a franchising spot? And what am I going to look
Mhm.
for? Like, am I still going to buy their merch and stuff like that? So
Yeah.
I want your opinion on, do you choose a new team to franchise in the franchising league Call of Duty and cheer for them, or do you try to follow 100 Thieves also and to kind of do both? Because at the end of the day, like
Yeah.
if 100 Thieves was to come back to COD and you already had a new favorite team, do you just drop them on the spot? And that's a decision that a lot of people have to face. Same with like Hector
Yeah.
and Optic now.
Yeah. Uh I think as of right now, think as being a fan of Call of Duty, I'll probably end up going for both.
Yeah,
I started consuming a lot of like 100 Thieves content, so I started following the LCS, see what's going on with them, and
yeah, for sure.
I
I have that
don't have a
experience too.
general background on it, but like I know a little bit of like enough to know what's going on.
Hmm.
But now that the 100 Thieves is not in the new CDL, um, it's more I it's probably going to have to go for another team at the same time, but still kind of try to get merch. I've been trying to
Yeah,
get their friggin' I've been
yeah,
trying to
man.
get their merch for the last two
Oh,
drops,
dude, like
and
they're so smart by only having limited drops, man. Like the fact that
yeah,
there's so much 100 Thieves shit on like StockX and stuff like that is insane. It's
yeah.
insane. It's an
Well,
esports brand. The video games
yeah.
close. It's like it's
Well,
crazy.
that's the thing. StockX is actually one of the major sponsors of
Yeah, like
100
Nate
Thieves as
Shot's
well.
like, dude, all my shit's already on there, man. Start paying me for this.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
like, but like with their merchant, like they do it such in a correct way where it brings the hype and people start following it more just to see when drops are coming. Like,
Yeah,
and it
man.
just
They
gets more of a
it's hype.
word of mouth.
Yeah,
It's
except
like,
like today's like word of mouth when we were, 10, 11, 12 is like I don't even know, dude, how you would show
hey,
how I don't even know how you would like show one of your friends a sick kill you got an MW2. Like I don't even know how you would do
yeah.
that. I'm trying to think
Well, that's
back
the
like
thing.
how would I do it? I don't think I would
It's
even. I don't think I'd do it. I just have to explain it to him. Like, man, he was coming over the. He was on the crane on what was that map? High Rise, and I
yeah,
threw a knife and trust me, man, it happened. But now it's just like, okay, I got this clip. 5 seconds. It's on Twitter. Take a look, man. Oh, you want
yeah.
to buy my clothes now too? Here's my store.
Here's
It's
my
nuts.
stuff. Come on and support.
Okay, pay
Back
me.
in the day, I would probably like. I think the best way would probably be like hoping that it's the final kill came and you grab your like phone,
Oh yeah, for sure, for
crappy
sure,
phone camera,
man.
and you're trying to record it and be like, "Yo, check this out."
Yo.
But that was the
Yeah.
thing. Most of the time, we were playing with friends, so like you have like a little bit of leverage there, where
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yo, talk to so and so."
Yeah.
They see me do it, like.
Same with like opinions on who's actually good at video games. It was all word of mouth too. Like, cause when I first started playing games, I'm trying to even think back what I played when I was like in element. I know I had a PS2. I'm trying to think of what I would have played on PS2. I would have played like the COD campaigns and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
Obviously
I
not
remember actually
competitive.
going to your house and playing. Oh God, what was the first Call of Duty game?
I ripped Big Red One, COD 2. I ripped that
Yeah,
one big time, man.
yeah. I remember watching you play
Oh yeah,
campaign.
man. Yeah, we probably
Um,
played. There was definitely co-op campaign in that game. That was a good game,
yeah.
man. I like that game.
But like we played
COD
a lot
2.
of just like fun adventure, like good
Oh yeah, it
because
was just like because I
multiplayer
was.
wasn't.
That's all it was. That's all we had.
Mhm.
It was just that's what we played. And
Then
then,
then we
whew,
started to get our
yeah,
early teenage years. We started to get into the online community, and that's when we're like, whoa,
yeah. The more easily
this
accessible
is
it was,
fun.
how could we not do it? It's just like
Yeah,
finally, this is actually what I was waiting for. Is this
yeah,
like now it's here?
yeah. I'm tired of getting my ass kicked by Nick, and so I
Yeah.
want to go play against some other people.
I'm tired of
Uh,
losing Falco Dittos to Nick every Saturday night. It's time for me to play God.
man, I was tired of Diggers Marath Tippers.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's
But
Melee's
like
good though, man. Melee is such a good game.
I think that's where like a lot of it too is we all started grinding together, and now that we're like all of us like we still
Yeah.
grind together to play Call of Duty. It's like we'll always wait for each other. We'll always party up together, and like we just all grind together. Even though like the skill gap between me and a couple other people is
Well, Doyle's a freak, man. Like it just
Doyle,
is what it
Doyle
is.
just gets it.
Yeah,
Doyle just
man. Doyle's a freak. Yeah, when I have the episode with Doyle, I'm gonna go into more of like like game battles perspective and stuff like that.
yeah.
But I
My
mean,
competitive career is not.
yeah, like I straight up have it
It's
written down here. Like I have what I'm gonna ask Doyle, and I have what I'm gonna ask you written down. Like what Doyle, the difference between what I was gonna ask you and Doyle is Doyle's like GBs and in some CODs, and for you, I was just like, okay, Colby probably consumes the Call of Duty League more than Doyle
yeah.
does, and I want his perspective because 100 Thieves is just straight up not there.
Mhm.
So, but what happens if
It
100
was
Thieves
very
comes
sad
back?
to see.
Yeah, what happens if they
It
come
was very.
back next year?
If they come back, I would love to see them come back.
What happens if you start cheering for COD Chicago or COD TO and they win the championship? Then 100 Thieves comes back.
I'm probably still gonna end up having to cheer for 100 Thieves.
Do you think so?
Just because of the fact that like I sort of like I watched them like religiously. Like I was rooting for them for like ever since they pretty much got rid of Pharaoh
Yeah.
and dropped Pharaoh, picked up Priest or Priesta, and then Crowder as a coach. Like, and that's when I was like, whoa, like these guys are nasty now.
Yeah, they
Like,
just needed that one spot to really a little bit of a
but
glue
yeah,
guy.
there was a lot of beef between a
Hmm.
couple players, but like, and that's the thing, like
Man, they were
you
like
don't
one
know
map away from not even making the
pro
pro
league.
league, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to go from
it's
like
nuts.
almost not making it to the pro league to coming in second place, coming into second place with the world or the champion. I can't remember the name right off the top of my
God
head, but
champs. Yeah,
the COD champs, yeah.
yeah. They beat
Like
Optic. They beat them
that's
out. It's like the what's it called there? The student becoming the master. Pretty
yeah,
much. Nade shot taking down Hector.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
listened to all like the podcasts 100 Thieves Nate Shot does. Like
mm-hmm.
they even said that they made a team of optic killers.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
in the one that just came out. I listened to that actually.
With Mud Dog.
Yeah, I listened to that. His story is pretty interesting too, but
Yeah.
it's yeah. I mean, it's actually crazy when you think about it. He's got insanely lucky, but also grinded. So
Yeah.
insanely lucky.
Well,
The fact that he just
yeah.
took that like minimum wage job where he grinded out like map bugs and then turned into
Yeah.
him being the Call of Duty coach for 100 Thieves and now literally manager of Optic.
Yeah. I would see that's the thing. I would love to like get into something like that
But
and
it's
like
just,
but it's
I
so
mean,
hard.
he like the thing is, I was thinking about that too because I'm not oblivious to the fact that I'm not Hector Rodriguez. I know that I'm
No.
not, but at
Yeah.
the same time, and I don't. This is going to be a long discussion about what not just the Robbery Boys, but amateur esports orgs are supposed to be. And this is a long talking point, but for a quick summarization, instead of everybody being a professional player, why can't everybody have an experience like Optic but appropriate to their skill? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're an
Yeah.
amateur player, you can be on an amateur org and you can buy your own merch and you can have your overlays and you can create content. And then if you go professional, you like I'm not talking you have to be absolutely god gifted thumbs and be a professional COD
Yeah.
player, but you can grind like courage and you can be a content creator.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like what amateur orgs can do for a player is just give them an outlet and a bit of guidance on what content to be expected, like what an org will expect from you and
Yeah.
what you can expect from an org. Like I know for a fact that if we had like a Robbery Boys Rocket League team playing in a league, man, I'd be catching those games for sure, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be hype. I'd be tuned in.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's especially for like the Robbery Boys right now. It's such a like, it's us, just a group of friends, like playing together,
Yeah.
like streaming, like having fun, like. But like, we do have guys that want to take this Call of Duty serious, and like
Yeah, that's the
they
thing. At
want
the end
to
of the day, you're
like,
gonna try to win the game.
mm-hmm.
But
And like that's why. And if you give people the outlet to talk and like even speak their own, like give them a voice, where some amateur organizations like, yo, we signed this guy, and that's all you ever hear from them.
yeah, we got him, and he's gonna stream with our little picture in his right hand corner, and that's
Yeah,
it. And he gets his 5 viewers, like, and then he doesn't
yeah,
do anything. But
yeah.
yeah, I
Well, that's
mean,
the thing.
for an
You think,
amateur content creation, you have to expect something of yourself. It's not easy. You can't just flip the switch and call it a day.
you're not gonna turn into like a Scumpy or a formal with like so
Nah,
many
but even then,
views.
like
Like,
they're just so they have so many hours into Call of Duty that
yeah,
it
and they
couldn't go
made
wrong.
a brand for themselves,
Oh,
and
like
that's what an amateur organization should do for its players. Like,
yeah.
give them a brand, give them a platform. Hey,
The thing that intrigues me about COD and one of the reasons why I even still follow it now that I mean I didn't play I never really played COD that much the last few years, but the reason I like to watch professional COD is the fact that the players are a lot of the older players are still relevant in the scene. You know what I mean? Like they're still win, so that personality is still there. It's kind of the same thing like when we watch Melee. The fact that the Five Gods were so dominant was actually not that bad for the scene because the Five Gods had so much content created about them with the Smash doc that when you saw those
thought.
guys playing every month or every 2 months, you're like, okay, the boys are going again. Here we go. The 5 guys are going back at it, man. This is gonna be sick, and it was every time. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude.
Yeah.
Watching
I
competitive
don't know,
melee, man, that was fire, dude.
I remember staying the night at your house.
We watched Genesis, dude. Oh, that was good. That was actually good too.
Yeah, we
When
stayed up.
Mango beat Hbox and the place just erupted. I thought the roof was gonna come off, and then he gets absolutely murdered by Armada and Grands. But that's just the story of the GOAT.
Just the that's the way Mango plays. He'll play awful one game, play like a god,
man,
and then just
yeah,
go from zero to hero.
For me, I watched. I know that we're kind of going in circles here, but I watched Halo Reach competitively, and I understood the personalities. But when I got there, it was kind of like almost at the end of the competitive Halo glory days. Like I was at the tail end of Halo 3, and I was there for the whole thing for Halo Reach. I watched all competitive Halo Reach, and it was good, but it wasn't as good as Halo 3 and Halo 2. Just because the game was a little I like Halo Reach because the multiplayer in Forge was just amazing. It was just so good. The multiplayer in Halo Reach was so good, and the campaign was good. But competitively, I can see why people liked Halo 3 and 2 a little more. But yeah, I followed that scene until it died out, and then Halo 4 was just so bad. So I switched over to
Call of Duty.
I switched to not even. I switched to just straight up Melee and Melee, and I a little bit of Dota. That's when I probably would have started playing Dota. But Melee for me was like, it was the first scene that I was really invested in to the point where I knew all like the storylines, and I watched pretty much all the majors, and I was very aware of like the meta and stuff like that. It was just fun. It's just like fun being that invested in something. It was just like
fun
for esports.
Learning
about
something.
It was crazy. And the fact that I could sit there with my actual friends in person and rip the game and have like bi-weekly tournaments with like 10 guys in my basement. It was just wicked. It was fun. Yeah. Yeah, but wherever you want to go with the last couple minutes, Colby, we can start grinding out those 12 12 followers.
I'm stuck on the 30s now, for a while. And lately I've been streaming a lot more the past couple of days. Trying to get my last 12 followers on my Twitch just to actually get a sub button.
Because you're the kind of person who it would benefit a lot from having an amateur org's YouTube be relevant, where you get your clips on there and people are going to watch it. Like I'm not talking about like fans of professional Call of Duty have to come and watch amateur COD clips string together in a highlight reel for YouTube. I'm talking like other members of the team supporting each other to the point where everybody has 200 Robbery Boy followers on their Twitter and Twitch, and it just gives you such a head start compared to the guy who is like Colby now with 30 followers, but still has like almost the same tools to have 200, but just doesn't because of the circumstances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can admit to myself that I am not the best competitive player. I know I understand the game. It's just my thumbs don't want to work like other people's.
Yeah, but I understand that. But even like if you're somebody coming from like Fortnite, or like a kid coming from Fortnite, and you want to join a team and you see Colbdawg20 that streams Blackout for 2 or 3 hours a night, and you tune in and you're just like, okay, so this is what this game's about. This is how it happens. And then Colby plays with his friends. You're like, oh shit, when you do stuff like that, this game's actually fun, and it's hilarious when like little dinky stuff happens where your car flips over and stuff like that. Or Colby goes on a rip with the mesh mines and pops 3 guys out of their vehicles, but his mic's off for it, so there's no clip.
I didn't even realize I was going for
Colby was going off, dude, and I was like, man, he's in the zone, not even saying a word, man, he's locked in.
I didn't even notice, and I was like, oh my god, my mic's been off. Like I went to the washroom.
I thought for sure, I was like, man, Colby's definitely muted right now because he's probably popping off, dude, picking up like 4 kills in a row with the mesh mines, just like stone face staring at the monitor.
Clip it.
I was like screaming at nobody.
Yeah, I was screaming sweet nothings to nobody. And but I was having fun. Like
it's fun.
I'm still trying to get my first solo win. Like
it's a grind, man.
It's a grind.
You're gonna have to get a couple good guns, man, and just sweat it out.
It's fun though. Like it's that competitive, like getting back into it. It's fun. Like I like streaming because like
It
as I
gives you
said, I'm
something
not
to
a
play for
competitive
too. Like, you're grinding for the stream. You want to get a win, even if nobody's watching. Like the reason I like to stream Dota is because if I do something sick in Dota, I want to have it recorded so I can go watch myself do it again.
And that's the whole philosophy on like.
Yeah, you do enough sick stuff on stream, man. You string it together, you get a highlight video, and you put it on
Yeah.
YouTube, and then you have an overlay on top of that has your name on it, and now you're officially a content creator. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
not
that's
everybody's going to be Courage and have a music video with Ariana Grande and go meet her, but everybody can try.
yeah. But everybody wants to.
Yeah.
Courage is that poster child. He's
Oh
done so
man.
many
Oh,
things, and
there's
like
like
streaming,
that.
like
Like
with
I don't
that
know.
Connor, like with the I don't know how many times I've seen YouTube videos of like him and Connor playing. Like with
Yeah, that's
Connor
kind of weird
makes
sometimes,
Ninja.
but yeah, I don't know. That's a different
That's
thing,
a
but,
different
you know.
topic, but like
Yeah.
he's always like doing something. He's not a
Oh no,
professional
he's innovative
player,
for sure.
but
You
he's
have to be really innovative.
yeah, and that's where like even though I'm not a professional or competitive player, it's still there's still opportunities for
Oh yeah,
people to
you
play.
you got to keep up that high energy for
get
sure. It's all about the high energy.
and get that org to see you, and then next thing you know, you're on a professional team like streaming, and it's like, wow, this is what the dream's all about.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, man, if you go and ask like everybody at the bottom of the list for games who are just streaming to themselves or a couple of their friends and say like, yeah, man, like you clearly have been streaming for a while. Would you like to join an org? And they'd be like, well, no, I'm not that good. And you're like, well, you don't have to be
Yeah.
that good. You just have to join the org, and then you follow
Yeah.
other people, and they follow you, and you support each other, and just like that, you
Yeah.
have 200 followers. It's not
Yep.
like it's not supposed to be like 200 god gamers playing on this amateur esports team. It's just 200 guys with the same logo that understand what they're doing, and so be it.
Enjoy playing together and
Yeah, sharing each other's clips,
Just-
having a laugh.
yeah, that's the thing. Like we're
Yeah,
always
for
looking
sure.
for people to come hang out. Like,
Oh yeah, you play video games for fun. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
well, that's the thing. Like, even on the Twitter, like our Rob Twitter, like
Yeah.
we're always open for new people to come hang out. Like
Yeah,
we're
for
all
sure. Definitely.
we're all good.
Buy my
Good
clothes.
guy. Buy that merch.
See it, buy it. Yeah. Maybe I should do some limited drops, man. You get one shirt. That's all you can
One
get.
shirt.
Limited.
There's 10 shirts, and then you gotta try to get that resale value.
I have a StockX
price
account,
up.
man. Maybe I'll resell my own merch on StockX and make myself fake it till I make it, man.
That's all it is,
Yeah.
though.
All right,
But,
Colby.
like-
So you can go catch up with Nick if you want. If you got anything else to add to the end of this, where people can follow you, any things you
Yeah.
got coming up.
Well, right now I've been just streaming, playing a lot of Blackout. I've been playing solo Blackouts. As I said, I'm trying to get my first win, but you can go watch me on twitch.tv/Colbdawg20.
Yeah, link will be in the description.
And then I'm starting to get YouTube, trying to get a little bit active on my Twitter, and put my stream links in there, and nothing else. I'm just, with
for sure.
real life happening, it's hard to get a schedule, but when I'm on, it's always a good time.
Yeah, you mean you'll have the link in Discord when you're on. You tweet it out most times. If you want to see Colby and you make 1% effort to do it, you'll find out how. Put it that way.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be hard, but you'll find it.
Yeah, I'll always be plugging myself. So, Rob Discord.
Yeah, Rob Discord for sure. Let's get some bodies in there. 100%.
Yeah.
Let's get them in. Get them in.
Yeah, I gotta reactivate that link in my Twitch.
All right, Colby.
I'm
gonna rip some rapid fire before we close this thing out, and you can head back to Blackout to start getting that Rob content creation done.
All right.
Okay, scale
Hopefully
of
get my 12 soon.
1 to 10. What do you think your experience with MW, the new MW, is going to be? Do you think it's going to be a 1 to a 10?
I'm gonna probably say, from what I played in the beta, I'm gonna play probably 6.
6? Okay. So compared to another COD that you would have gave a 6, it doesn't have to be like, they don't have to play the same way, but like similarly, you know.
World at War.
You think it's going to be about that skill level? Or about that fun level, I guess?
It's boots on the ground. It's always good. I enjoy boots on the ground.
Yeah.
But I just feel with the gun mechanics, I feel like they are trying to put it too realistic.
Perhaps.
Where that gun, it's going to be fun, but you still want the consumer to be able to figure it out and be like, oh, I got this gun, I can shoot straight. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Give a little bit of a and in those competitive guys will have the edge, but it gives the normal consumer a chance to feel like they're achieving something.
Yeah, I mean, Fortnite was definitely a prime example of how to do that
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, so one last thing, Colby. Let's say, where do you see yourself 5 years? I was gonna
Five
say 10,
years.
but let's shorten it up. 5 years. I'm not
5
talking. I'm
years.
not talking girlfriend or wife or
Just
house. I'm talking
yeah.
straight up. You're playing a video game. Let's say that you're still playing video games 5 years time. What do you think you're playing, and what do you think like that'll be? How that'll be impacted in your life? Like, what are video games gonna mean to you in 5 years?
Pardon me. Video games. 5 years from now, probably still playing video games with all my friends still because I know my friends. I
Yeah, we
don't
never
think we're
really
gonna.
talked about at what age are you old in esports, but I guess it's kind of hard to tell because it's never happened
It's gonna
before.
be different. It's gonna be
Yeah,
different between because you see some CS:GO players. I do believe some are in their late 20s,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
early 30s. Like, but I personally, I'll probably be in my late 20s. I will be in my late 20s. Probably be still playing video games. Probably playing a lot of Call of Duty. Hopefully, streaming just a little bit still. Hopefully, get my 50 follows by then.
If Colby doesn't have 50 followers in 5 years, I'm done, man.
I have to hang up the. I gotta
Yeah,
retire the
I'm
controller.
making a note on the calendar in my phone. If Colby doesn't have 50 followers in 5 years, I'm making 50 fake emails, and he's getting it done.
Getting my 50 there, but no, I'll be playing. Probably having a little, still having fun with it. Probably less competitive, just for more of an
Yeah,
enjoyment.
consuming. You think you'll still be watching any competitive video games? I mean, it's hard to say if it's gonna be COD or not because a lot of things change every year, let alone 5 years.
Yeah, there could be the next great game
Could be the next
where I
BR
can.
that changes it all or something like that. But do
Yeah,
you
you
think
got
you'll
an
be? Do you
Apex
think you'll
Legend coming
have
in.
like a main game that you're still consuming though in 5 years?
Well, I think probably most likely will be Call of Duty. I've been play, as I said, I fell
Yeah,
in love
for
with Call
sure.
of Duty when I was in my early teens, like
Yeah, 100%.
early teens, like so. Call of Duty will always have a, a soft spot in my heart, so I'll probably be always watching it. Um, Playing probably still, but just for pure enjoyment. Nothing too serious, nothing just for me to enjoy and relax and being
Yep, understandable,
feel.
definitely. Well, buddy, you can head back to play some Blackout, get that Rob content creation, and
Yeah.
I'll have
And
you
that
on
is my role
for
on
sure, for sure. That's the role in your team. Nate, you can't go into Colby's stream and be like, bro, I'm here for top tier talent, dude. I want 20
I
kills
put
or I'm
that
out. I'm out.
I put in my Twitch bio. What did I? Just 1 second. I put it in my bio. Where are you? Twitch. You got moved around with the iOS 13 update.
That's funny.
There you are. I put. Thanks for checking out my stream. Play a lot of Call of Duty. Oh, I did change it. I say
Uh-oh.
we don't stick around for the good gun skill or a lot of kills. You just stay around for the good vibes.
There you go. That's all it is. That's Colby's role.
Yeah. Yeah, just good vibes.
Yeah, get it done. 100%.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
boy.
well, have you on. Maybe we'll do a group one when MW drops.
We should definitely get something the OG melee.
Oh man. Whew. Oh man, that
OG.
would actually be good, man. To say about the OG Melee boys from 690 Gram. That would be an episode
Yeah.
for sure. That'd be hilarious. We get Jake and Chris back on the mic, man. That'd be some.
And then-
That'd have some stories. You get Ranson. Oh,
Ranson, you get
I don't
Digger
even know,
going.
man. Man,
Get the money mark.
I don't know. As soon as you get Nick and Digger talking about Melee to each other, Nick's just gonna get so mad when Digger when Digger says that he just like 2-0'd him at a Bills Hell's challenge and knocked him out like first round of losers. Because Nick lost. Man, Nick took Marshall to game 5. I know we're getting way off track here, and I tried to close this down like 5 times, but just for the record,
content.
yeah, for the record, Nick and Marshall went to game 5 in the first round of winners, and it was like an 10 or 11 because I know that Jack was there, Ranson, Zach, Jake or Chris, one of the two. I don't think they were both there. Me and Marshall, you were there. Digger was there. Captain might have been. Man, we had a bunch of people for like 3 or 4 of those.
We had Poop there as well too.
Oh man, Poop made the odd appearance. And yeah, Nick and Marshall have a wicked series. Go to game 5, like one of the first times ever that that they went that close. They always played like fairly close, but when Marshall wanted to turn it on, he could usually like kind of grease Nick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh yeah. He knew what
but
he was
they were
doing.
going back and forth, and then Nick gets like kind of demoralized after that, and go to Pokemon Stadium, and then
Digger.
this Digger comes in with the big sword and just tips him at a Pokemon Stadium like 4 times in 2 minutes, and Nick was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm going home. This game sucks. I broke." Smashes his controller. He's like, "Yeah, I need some controller parts there." It's like, you just bought that on eBay for like $50.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, I'll pitch that for sure. That's a good idea.
And that's the $50 money match.
Oof, that was at my old house in 782, man.
Yeah,
we were drinking sometime in the summer with the baseball boys, and I was like, "Yeah, probably I'll put a setup. Let's get a setup." That was the big thing, man. For everywhere, we're going somewhere, you got a setup. Oh yeah, I got a setup.
we even put it in the clubhouse for a little bit.
There was it, man. That was good too. We went and watched like a senior doubleheader and had like a little tourney. That was good. That was fun.
But that would be interesting.
Yeah, that'd
see all the conversations.
Yeah, I'll pitch that for sure. All right, let's get out of here then.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Good. Sounds good. GG. We're out.
GG.